Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to Let's Unpack That After Dark. It is me, Lala. Welcome, welcome. Me and my crew. What's up, guys?
Hi
Yo,
everybody.
what
Hola,
up?
¿cómo estás? Happy hump day, y'all.
We skipped the countdown?
Shy, you ain't even been on, so you might want to say what up. Hey, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, what's up? How you doing? What's up? What you mean I ain't been on?
You wasn't on last week.
Oh,
And you wasn't on the week before.
oh.
Oh, okay. All right, welcome back. I know last week we had to take a little break. We had to take care of some things, but we're back and live in effect. We got a very interesting topic today, and we want to unpack that. So let's get started. So interestingly enough, I saw some podcast, Candid Conversation, and they were talking about relationships and who's gonna check who, right? So the topic they discuss behaviors with, I guess, someone is married and the mother of the person said something disrespectful to the other person and what was the response. So there was a lot of back and forth as to what's right versus what's wrong. So we're going to talk about when to address this disrespectful behavior and why. So who want to go first? We could talk about it. We could do a scenario. We could just have a conversation. Okay, Sha, you said you had something to say.
You got to address that early and often.
Okay.
This it becomes a habit. Then it becomes your fault.
So does it matter who you have to address it with?
No, disrespect. It doesn't matter who it is.
Really?
Yeah, you got to address it. I'm address to her disrespect too.
Oh, what she do?
She be coming 3 blocks from my crib and not saying nothing. That's wild disrespectful. So, there's no more brother and oh my shot and all that. It's over. She can't say that no more until she get her name back.
Oh,
Them
okay.
flowers behind her ain't gonna save her neither. I see a little funky background. Not gonna work.
Oh, okay. Well, alrighty then. So, what I want to know is, in a relationship, when you're in a relationship and you're dealing with your significant other's parent, right? If you have a situation where your parent does not like your significant other, and your parent constantly do things to disrespect them, demean them, disregard them, or even try to start conflict within your relationship, how do you address that?
Depends on how close me and my significant other are. If this is the woman I'm gonna marry, then we probably not getting to that point if there's that kind of friction. Because, like I said, we're addressing that early. So it's not like we're gonna be together 2 years and I want to marry her and all of a sudden this disrespect started. Usually that starts early, and then it depends on the reason why too.
Give me an example because I'm not really clear.
So, like, if my mother or my father was like, if she did something crazy that maybe I got over, but they didn't get over, then that's a different kind of discussion than, oh, we just don't like her and they don't have no leg to stand on. Sometimes people expose their relationship too much and they make people hate your spouse because you run your mouth too much about what's going on under your roof, and that's a mistake because a lot of that stuff you can get over, but the people around you might not get over. So
Okay,
it's
so what
better to
happened?
keep you. Hmm?
What happened when? Oh, Mika, we not live on Instagram. It's on, but I don't see it.
You have to go live. You gotta click go live on the Instagram tab.
Oh, anyway. So what I'm saying is, okay, so let's do a scenario. So you're married, right? And your mother don't like your wife, right? And she does different little things, and your wife continues to be this, respectful regardless. Your mom is not feeling her, she don't like her, so she's very cordial, right? Because we want to be respectful to other people's parents, right? But then that one day when your mother decides to do something and slap her, how is she supposed to respond to that?
Slap her.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. When people respect you, they respect who you with. So if that's happening in your relationship, your mother or your whoever, whichever way it go, they don't respect you.
I
Because when
don't.
people respect you, they respect your decision,
I
and
don't
they're not
agree with
going to
that,
get to
especially
know.
when it comes to parents.
Huh?
I don't agree with that. There's a lot of parents out there that love their kids and they have respect for their kids, but they don't like the significant other. Some parents are just so how you call it? You know, you have mama's boys and you have these daddy's little girls, and whatever mama says goes, and whatever daddy says goes. And then you meet somebody, and then the mom doesn't like the girl because she just doesn't like her kid with the girl, and then gets disrespectful. I don't. It has nothing to do with, oh, I don't respect my son or respect my son. If she don't like somebody, she don't like somebody, and I just feel if I'm the mom and I tell my son, you know what, I really don't like that girl, I have to respect my son's decision. There's parents out there that don't do that at all. And they start nitpicking and they start throwing subs, or we could be in a group gathering and the mom is saying certain things that's very offensive or very disrespectful. A person could take but so much of that. And I personally feel when it first starts, like I say, if it's me, I need to address that. I need to tell my mom, I need you to sit and calm down. I need you to cut it out. At the end of the day, this is who I'm gonna be with. And if you continue on doing it, then me and you are gonna have tension and we're gonna have some problems. But if my mom sits and gets to the point to where she's consistently disrespecting, to where she puts her hand on my significant other, I have no control on what happens after that. And I'm keeping it a whole stack.
Okay,
You
I
going to the
can
trunk
respect that. Would you say?
on your mother?
But see, that's what I'm saying.
Like, that's
You
what I'm saying.
wait, hold on.
You have to want the respect. If we're grown, this is what I tell everybody, and I said the same thing to my husband. When his mom started her stuff, the first thing I told my husband was, "You need to check your mom because it's not going to look right. We smacking the shit out of her because at the end of the day, your mother's grown and I'm grown." I'm a grown ass woman with kids that pays bills and has responsibilities and all the other stuff. I'm fucking and I'm sucking just like your mom does too. It don't make a difference. The only difference is that she's your mother, but we are grown. So as a grown ass woman, I'm going to expect respect the same way you're gonna want it too. And if you violate me just because you my man's mother and you smack the shit out of me, you think I'm not gonna smack you back? I'm gonna smack you back.
You
And if
said
my
that
man has
second.
a problem with it, then I don't know. Then this is not gonna work. It's not going to work because I'm not going to tolerate disrespect from nobody.
So we're talking about you. So Sha, I see. You know what I see is that your reaction, and I think that your reaction is based on the fact that that's somebody's mother, right? But earlier you stated that respect is, you know, when somebody respect you, they respect who you with. So I don't personally think that it matters who the person is. I don't think it has. I don't think it matters if it's my mother, my sister, my brother. You know, I think that if you are in a position where you think that you can put your hands on somebody or be disrespectful, then you need to be able to get whatever you've given. Period. Just because you my relative and you don't like somebody I'm dealing with, it doesn't give you the right to want to slap somebody or be disrespectful. I'm gonna check the situation and behavior, right? Appease the situation because at the end of the day, when you're dealing with somebody, whether the person, a friend, a family, foe, whether they like the person or not, that's not their person. That is your person, right? So you always want to maintain a peaceful, you know, keep the peace or just kind of kumbaya to a certain extent because you don't want to be able to coexist around other people with the person that you with. But what I will say is, right, being a person who have have a certain type of mouth and had the ability to be disrespectful to my own parent, right? I'm not letting nobody's mother disrespect me. If my man's mother spit on me, I'm gonna whip her ass. Period.
Spitting is different. Don't
What'd you
talk about
say?
my mother sucking dick though, because I'm gonna slap you. Don't do that.
What?
I don't want to hear about my mother sucking dick. Don't
I
say that.
didn't say that.
That's what she
I
said.
said it. I said it because we grown. We all grown. So if you're gonna give me the respect as a grown person, and I'm gonna give you the respect as a grown person as well. Because even if I wasn't with your son, right, or whoever it is, I'm still going to expect that same respect. If I see you in the store Respect me as a grown person. And if you violate me or if you come at me a certain way, if you say certain things that's offensive, I'm not gonna sit and jump into, oh bitch, I'm not gonna sit and do that. But I will address it respectfully. Listen, Miss Such and Such, I understand that whatever, but I'm gonna need you to take a chill pill on what it is that you're saying with your subs or what it is that you're doing. And if you continue on doing it again, like I told my husband, it's not gonna look right me smacking the shit out of your mother. So now it's up to you to sit and address it. And if that doesn't work, it's either I'm gonna leave or it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. I personally feel when it comes to relationships, if you have kids, I'm only worried if your kids like me. I don't care about nobody else.
Why? Because you
Well,
spend
old
more
people
time
don't
with
know what
kids.
overstand means, first of all.
What you say?
Second of all, old people don't know what overstand means. And second of all, you always want to slap somebody. Go
Right?
love somebody.
I
Stop
love
slapping people.
everybody. I love everybody. And if I love
That's
you,
not
I'll
true. Don't
smack
say
you
that to
too
me.
if I love you.
No.
Sometimes you gotta smack people to give them a little, that tough love.
Well, I need to smack the shit out you then because you disrespectful.
Okay, the violence is unnecessary here. We're talking about
She
addressing
started it.
disrespectful behavior, and you guys are displaying it to the highest right now. We family. Come on now, let's talk about it. Let's unpack that. Let's unpack these behaviors that I'm seeing right now. Let's.
Ain't no behavior. I'm just saying I will smack the shit out of your mother if she tries to smack the shit out of
All
you.
right. All
Don't
right.
play.
So Shy. So what I'm hearing you say is that you feel like there is a certain level of respect that's supposed to be given or received when it comes to a parent.
I think it depends on the relationship with them. Like my mother and my father respect me. So if I make a decision, they ain't really gonna challenge it. They might tell me, but they ain't gonna disrespect the woman I bring around. They may not like them. Like my mother ain't like every chick I brought around that I was with, but she ain't. She gonna conduct herself a certain way because she know that I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do anyway.
Right.
So she's not gonna. She ain't gonna cause no friction like that. Like I don't have that kind of situations like that.
So you
And if
believe
it
that
could be my wife, that shit would have been worked out way before that. Unless something traumatic happened during the marriage, like if my wife cheated on me, my mother's like, "Yo, f her," da 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 da. That would give her a reason to disrespect her. But just like I don't like her, so I'm gonna try to do something and sabotage. Like that ain't gonna happen in my situation.
okay.
I wouldn't marry a woman if she's in turmoil with my family. That shit is tough. Like that's, and I definitely agree with Mika too. Like if I get with a chick and her kids don't like me, or they don't respect me, or something's going funny with that, I'm out of there. I'm not playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
So the kids are more of a factor than the parents.
I
The
do. I
kids
do.
and the baby father.
The
The
kid.
kids and the baby father. If the kids is wilding and the baby father's calling at 5 in the morning because I'm not dealing with all of that.
Mhm.
Like if you grown, check that situation. Like I'm not checking it.
I just feel kids is different because kids is kids and you gotta mold them. You understand what I'm saying? They're not gonna sit and overstand or get things just as quick as an adult would, even though some adults they don't have the basic common sense. But I just feel with kids, I'll work a little more harder to sit and make that right with the kids than what I would an adult. You understand? Because
Mhm.
kids, they hear things, so they're going by what they hear, and then when they sit and they really get to know you and grow up with you, that's a different story. But going into a relationship and trying to sit and make things right with grown people, again, everybody's parent don't sit and see they have that type of, like I said, common sense to
Mhm.
where they'll sit and say, you know what, I don't like that person that my child is with, but I understand that my kid is gonna do whatever it is that they want to do. Some parents just feel because they have the title mother or the title father, what I say goes, what I said, and I'm your mother, and no, it doesn't go that way, especially once you're already out the house. Like you can't, don't do that. It's
So I
not.
got a question.
Let me hold on. Let me go to Instagram real quick. Hey, beautiful floaties. Hey, New York undercover. So uh, beautiful floater said the first time a woman or man gets out of pocket, I will cut you off for life. New York undercover said disrespect should be addressed ASAP. Um, beautiful floater said kids follow the adult. And New York undercover said the problem is not everyone was raised right and they don't even know that their behavior is wrong. So check it at the door. I agree with that.
Mhm.
Totally. What's the
only
question,
checking it
Sean?
one time.
Huh? You said you're only checking it one time.
Only checking it one time.
So my question is, and I do agree with sometimes some people are not even aware of the behavior that they're even displaying, right? And sometimes and they do sometimes get it from the parent. They watch their parents and they mimic certain behaviors, right? But if a person is not aware of that behavior or even understand that that behavior that they're displaying is disrespectful, right? When you address it, what would that look like, right? Because if I'm behaving in a manner that seems to be normal to me, right, based on maybe how I grew up, how I was raised, it's normal to me, right? But to you, it's disrespectful. So if you come to me and say, "Yo, that behavior is disrespectful," I'm inclined to say, "What behavior? What you talking about?"
And then I'm inclined to sit and express to you, this is the behavior that you're doing that I don't like. And if you don't fix it, then it's gonna be a problem. That's just how I see it. It's all about, I'm gonna match your energy. So if I'm coming to you respectfully and I'm saying, Miss Such and Such, this behavior and da 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 da, it was uncalled for. I feel it was disrespectful. And you ask me that, well, what is it that made it disrespectful? I'm going to sit and express it to you, and I'm gonna tell you da 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 da. But now, if the outcome of it, I don't know what the outcome is going to be. So if the outcome is, you know what, I overstand, I get it, we could fix it, let's fix it. But if you come out with the, well, that's just who I am, and
Right.
that's not going to change, then I'm going to say, well, who I am is I don't fuck with that shit, and I'm not going to fuck with you. And that's the energy. Whatever energy you give me is the energy that you're going to get back, because at the end of the day, we are all grown.
Right, and I think it's important that you are aware or you are able to identify that if I address something that and the behavior continues or a person is not able to acknowledge or take accountability for their behavior for us to move on, then at that point you gotta know what's best for you for your own sanity, right? Because a lot of times I'm gonna say in the younger days, right, for me, right, people will do things and show you something, and sometimes you kind of, you know, don't address it hands on, and then it builds, and then it becomes more of a bigger deal, and then now you're inclined to be in a situation where, you know, hold on, I'm sorry, um, you have to really address what's going on. But you had a question, Shah?
Nah, she's crazy.
Who?
You.
You
You
had a
always want to slap.
question.
You always
You
want to
did
slap
have a
somebody.
question. You did have a question.
I forgot.
No,
You
no, I just,
didn't get the question.
I forgot. I forgot. But all I know is Tootie is mad disrespectful,
All
and
right,
I
I
don't
gotta,
believe.
I gotta. Somebody sent me a scenario, right? So you guys say the kids, the kids gotta be, you gotta have a relationship with the kids. Gotta have a relationship with the kids, right? So okay, you have a relationship with the kids. They grow up, they get older, they involved, they in your life, right? Um, maybe even staying with you, right? Right?
mhm.
They live in your house with you and your wife, and that's her son, right, or what have you, right? Is it okay for your son to walk around, or daughter to walk around with no shirt on,
No,
a
Nobody's doing that.
bra,
no,
right?
not okay at all.
But that's how they was raised in their family's house,
I would have
So
raised them.
that's
in their
that
mother's
house.
house or their father's house, right? Because understand this, right? There are some children, parents who allow their kids to walk around naked,
That's me in my house.
right? Walk around. You don't gotta wear. I mean, because I know my kids didn't like to wear clothes either. That's why I didn't entertain like that in my house, because they didn't like to wear clothes. But my point is, there has to be some type of teaching involved, right? Because in the comfort of here, right, you can walk around a certain way. However, when you have boys and girls, it still has to be some boundaries, right? It has to be
Mhm.
clear, right? So it's a lot, because when you're not raised to understand the dynamics of knowing that, yeah, we're all here, and we're all like women, a woman with boys and stuff like that. Most women that have boys, when as they get a certain age, they're not gonna walk around without a bra with their titties out, just hanging out, right? We wear t-shirts or whatever we wear in the comfort of our home with our children because they know us as their parents, but we're not gonna walk around butt naked with our sons growing, right? You don't want your son and your daughter to think that that's how it's supposed to be because then when they go to somebody else's house, they're gonna do the same thing. And when the other person is like, "Yo, what's happening here? What are you doing?" Right? They're not gonna understand, and it's gonna be like, "Well, what's the problem? I do this all the time." So I do agree that certain behaviors have to be addressed immediately because if it's not addressed immediately, it becomes more of um a problem, like more of a problem within the situation, right? This is like when you talk about when you meeting somebody, you're dealing with somebody, right? So most people don't really intertwine their children in the beginning stages of their relationship, right? Most of the time it's when you believe or you feel like the relationship is going somewhere when you try to incorporate the kids, right? And there are sometimes when you incorporate the kids and you want to be all in and then the kids get involved and it's like, oh no, this is not gonna work. It's a problem because the kids are disrespectful or the kids have too much to say and parents don't know how to check the behaviors from the door on the onset in the relationship. So I mean, I get it. I get that aspect of it. But I do think that when it comes to disrespectful behavior, I don't care who it is, it should be addressed. Right. But I also think on the flip side of that is the interaction between two people, whether it be a parent and a child, a relationship, a husband or a wife, or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or a girlfriend or a girlfriend, or boyfriend or boyfriend, however, whatever your choices are, right? What's normal for me may not be what's normal for you, right? How I have a conversation with my significant other or my children may be perceived by someone else as a disrespectful conversation, right? But I may be okay with it because that's what I'm okay with, right? But your perception of what you see or what you believe or what you see and you're not used to may be a form of disrespect. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, get it. Following me. So that's another thing, right? Because
If there's a situation to where I'm around a group of people, like me, I'm one, I don't care if your kid is 18, 19, 20 years old, okay? And if I'm in the living room and I'm talking to your parent, I'm not going to talk about my sex life. I'm not going to talk about my marriage. I'm not talking about none of that in front of your kid. All they're 18, I don't care. I'm not talking about that. You may not see that as disrespectful, but I do. So what I'll do is I'm not saying anything.
right.
You guys can have the conversation. You guys could sit and do it. I'll sit there and I'll sip my tea and I mind my business. It's all up to what the person wants to tolerate. And I'm not tolerating a lot. Some people will sit and tolerate it, and some people are not. So if I feel this is an uncomfortable conversation and I feel it's disrespectful, I will sit and say, "Look, Lala, I don't want to be a part of this because I don't like it,"
Right.
and that just has to be respected. But there's nothing wrong with it. To you, there's nothing wrong with it, but to me, it's a problem, and I don't like it, and I'm just gonna separate myself from it.
No, I agree. I mean, I've been places and I have friends that have kids, and I'd be like, "What? You talk about that?" Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's boundaries in place. There's certain things that take place that a lot of people just have their own beliefs and how they want to deal with it or deal with everyday life. But when we talk about disrespectful behavior, I believe that I want to go back to what Shah said, right? So anybody, you mean anybody that respects you, not just a parent, if they respect you, then they should respect your decision, right? That's what you said, right? And the person that you choose to deal with. So they should respect the person that you with, even though they have a dislike for that person. But on the strength of you.
Like this. Yeah, like I don't want to put names out there, but I have some close friends, female
You
friends.
sound muffled, Shaw. Yeah, I think
Um,
you're covering the
I
mic.
got some close friends, like some close female friends. That one in particular was married to a dude. I ain't care for him, but he didn't know that. She knew that because I told him, but he never knew that because I didn't display that energy towards him
Mm-hmm.
because they was happy. So that's not my. I'm a person that if you happy, I'm rooting for you. Like my personal feelings don't matter. If you happy, you happy. Now if that shit is abusive or something like that, that's a different situation. But
Mm-hmm.
if I don't like certain characteristics about a person or how they conduct themselves, but you going for it, then I'm gonna deal with you. I'm not gonna take it out on that person because I just feel like adults are gonna do what adults are gonna do, and it's not my place
That's
to
not my
determine
place.
what your
Mm-hmm.
life is supposed to look like. And if I get to the point where I don't want to tolerate that or view it anymore, then I'm gonna separate myself and we just won't be friends no more. But I'm not about to disrespect the person that you chose. Like, I'm a person, I'm gonna ingratiate myself to them. I might not even like them. Like a very, very close female to me was married to a dude. I ain't care for him at all.
But you was cool with him?
He thought I was cool with him,
You
but I
kept
just
it,
made
you
it a
kept it
peaceful situation
cordial.
out of respect for their relationship. Me and her had some conversations, and she said what she said. I said what I said. I was happy the fact that she knew where I was coming from, but I respected enough. Like, you grown. If this is what you want to do, this is what you want to do. It wasn't abusive. I just didn't like him. I didn't like the way dude moved. You know what I'm saying? I didn't like the circumstance she put herself in. But she was happy, so it's not my place to be like, oh nah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't do that kind of stuff.
Okay. So, what about the children? We all have grown children, right? How do you deal with that aspect of relationship of disrespect when it comes to addressing disrespectful behavior?
My kids
I'm
are big. My kids are big, and I feel I taught them well. And I taught y'all, don't be disrespectful. Don't come out your mouth. If there's something that you don't agree with, you could address it. You could talk to me. But at the same time, the only one I'm gonna worry, of course. I'm not gonna sit and just be like, nigga, y'all grown, y'all gotta deal with it. No, I want to hear my kids' opinion. I want to hear how they feel. But you're 21, you're 20, you understand, and that's for my oldest kids. Respect. If you feel a certain way, if there's something that you don't agree with, we could address it and we could fix it. But at the end of the day, you guys are grown. You guys live your own life. I'm doing mine. Now, when it comes to Madison, who's 11 years old, I'm not going to have nobody around my child like that. She's small. You understand? And it's going to be too soon. But I'm not going to allow my daughter to be disrespectful. You okay? You may not feel, because the first thing that comes with kids is you're not my daddy.
Right.
You're not my daddy. Don't tell me what to do. You're not my dad. You have to show your kids to be what respect is. And then me personally, if I'm with somebody and they disrespect my kids are not gonna sit and be disrespectful to it. They're like, oh, fuck you and stuff like that. But kids do have rights to sit and say, that's not right. You're not supposed to do that. And I'm gonna tell my mom.
Madison loves me. That's all I know.
So when we say, okay, so I kind of want to go back to the disrespectful behavior, right? I can't. This is a topic, right? Let's unpack that. When it comes to somebody spitting on you, what is the appropriate response?
Violence.
I agree.
Violence.
Spitting is the
Violence.
most, that's violation. To spit on somebody, to have fluid from your body be on me, you better be lucky you breathing the next day, because that's nasty. That's just disgusting. Spit is just like, for me, spit is like pee, is just like feces, it's the same thing.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So if you spit on me, there's no coming back from that.
The comments though. What's
It's
up,
not like
Dre?
it's not like it's not like pee. It's not like pee. I done peed on chicks in the shower together.
Uh,
It's not like pee. Spit
But
is worse.
that's because y'all wanted that. I didn't ask to get spit on.
Now
Dre, you want to come up?
sometimes it just runs down the back of your leg if you standing in front of me. It just
Yo,
happens.
that's disgusting.
Dre said violence on top of violence. Beautiful Floater said put my house up for bail.
I agree.
But let me ask you a question. There's no other way to deal with that other than violence?
No.
I already know what my reflex, what is gonna be. That spitting stuff, since I was little, has always been a problem for me. And since I
Yes.
was little, the first time I got spit on, I was in kindergarten. I was in kindergarten the first time I got spit on, and I was the first time I got suspended, because that's just nasty. Saliva, period, is nasty. Like you spit,
Well,
is
hold on. Hold on. Let's not go
if
too
I'm
far.
not asking for your saliva, if
Okay,
I'm not
let's
making
clarify.
out with you, if
Let's
you're not
clarify
my
that.
man, and especially if you're a random, if you a person that's not a part of me, and you spit on me, I can't tell you what's gonna happen. I just know it's gonna be violence. And there's no other with me, there's no other way to handle it. You're gonna get washed up. You can't be spitting on nobody. Like, what's wrong with you?
That's disgusting. If you smell somebody, you got to be prepared to kill something or die.
If you spit on somebody, you need to be prepared for whatever's coming after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm speaking of those people who are just not who are not violent people who rather not fight, but rather have
Well,
a.
if you're not violent, I better not be standing next to you because I'm gonna smack the shit out of them for you. Because that shit is disgusting.
Beautiful Chloe said, "I was spit on in a racial matter, and I almost went to jail."
Who said that?
Beautiful Flotus, my sister.
The one in Baltimore?
Yeah.
She was at a Trump rally. Tell her chill. We don't want to hear about that shit.
Oh, look who's here.
Turn your
What's
phone
up, good people?
sideways.
What's
What
up,
up?
Dre?
What's good?
What's up, good people? To your question, Lala.
Wait,
Yeah,
wait,
You
hold
smart
on,
dude.
hold on. Put your phone
Yeah.
with
Dre.
you got your rotate lock. You gotta unlock it. Your screen rotating.
That's
all right,
better.
hold on. Let me go.
Why you look like a cone head? Like you got-
I do got a cone head. Don't do that.
Nigga looks crazy.
Hey, how do I do my screen like that? I'm in my app.
You
This
gotta
Hey,
nigga
what's
works
up,
for
Nixie
AT
Pooh?
and T and
go
don't
to
know how
your
to take the
screen like
screen lock
this.
off.
You know when you swipe down and you're gonna see the circle with the lock. The lock with the circle.
Oh, okay.
You work for AT and
Said I
T?
was in middle school. Nutcase.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
So, but no, to answer your question, Lala, first of all, good evening, everybody. Let's unpack that after dark. Sha, what's up? Mika, what
Peace.
up? Lala. But yeah, you spit on somebody, or yeah, you better be ready for whatever happens to you. That is the ultimate disrespect. Like, I just the thought of like your stuff coming out of your mouth and onto me, like
And
I
then you got stink breath at that. Your saliva might stink. Like, nah.
But the question I have is why does it have to be a violent response?
It
because
doesn't have to be. It's just
Oh God,
there's
here we
no other
go.
way to do it. There's no other way to do it. There's no other way to respond to somebody spitting on you. There's no other way because
Lala
it's
thinks
this.
she Coretta Scott King, yo.
They
I,
think
I
it's
just want to know. I
disrespectful.
mean, because again,
It's the high.
you guys is ready to go to war, right? But some of us are not fighters, and we just the
And
violence is not.
that
It's just
for
not.
those of you who are not fighters, I'm pretty sure if somebody sees somebody spitting on you, Lala, they will choose violence for you. I'm pretty sure of that.
Oh, come on, Des. That ain't right. You see my sister? She said, listen, you have always been a punk. I'm no punk, okay?
Yeah, but if somebody
if
spit on
you
you,
if
Lala, if somebody spits on you, I'm pretty sure you're gonna become violent. I promise you.
Well, I wasn't really talking about me. I'm just saying there are people who are more peaceful driven, right? And would rather not fight. And would
so
rather
Wait,
have
however
you.
they
a
choose to
conversation
deal
because
with
you
it,
can actually call the cops on somebody for spitting on you.
I gotta go.
that's great.
If we're gonna start this conversation, I'm leaving.
I'm not.
That's
I'm
great.
just saying it's the truth. I'm not saying that I would do it. I'm just saying it's a crime.
Yes, you are saying that.
It's a crime.
If you choose to sit and get spit on and you want to just wipe it off and walk away, that's your life. That's on you. However you choose to deal with it is how you deal with it. Just know if you spit on me, you getting a two-piece because that's just not happening. I know I'm just gonna spend the night in the bookies and probably get a misdemeanor for assault or something. It's all right. I'm good with that. We're gonna go through it all the time.
So Dre,
Yes.
um, so if you're in a relation, we're not talking about your current relationship. When you're in your other days, you're in a relationship, and somebody was disrespectful to your mother. What did you do? What would you do?
First of all, if y'all know my mom, if you ever met my mom and you were disrespectful to her, good luck to you.
But what if she's disrespectful to them?
My mom is not like that. My mom would address me first before she comes to y'all with whatever was on her mind. Like, say for instance, and this would never happen. I'm just using Sha for example. If Sha was to ever
How the
say something
fuck
to
I gotta do this?
if Sha was to ever say something crazy to my mom would call me or tell me, "Yo, Dre, I ran across Sha. He did X, Y, and Z, you know." And then I would approach Sha like, "Yo, Sha, what happened between you and my mom was really good." Yeah, there's ways to handle that. But if Sha goes overboard with the disrespect, then Sha,
Then what? You shot. What you gonna do? No.
I
I
mean,
mean,
we're
I'm
talking
just
more
talking
of
examples.
I'm talking more about
the
relationship, a
relationship.
relationship
Yeah.
dynamic. Your wife, you're married. Your mother don't like your wife. Your mother comes over. She throw your wife's stuff on the floor, or she pushes her out the way, or she spit on her. How should your wife respond?
Not with the spit.
Yeah, that not with the spit, but I don't. You gotta first of all, okay, for that part, Lala, you have to examine both sides. Um, but at the same time, you gotta know your relationship and you gotta know your person. You gotta know the type of person you're dealing with. I'm pretty sure you guys know and are gonna date somebody that you know is not gonna be disrespectful to
That's
your
not
mom.
necessarily
That's not
true.
true.
That's not necessarily true.
That's
I'm
not
sorry. And let me
necessarily
say,
You don't think so? Okay, so let me
no,
ask you a
hold on.
question, Lala.
Let
Let me
me
ask you a
let me
question. Hold
land.
on.
Go ahead.
So you telling me that you would date somebody that you know would be disrespectful to your parents?
See,
what we think.
you don't meet somebody and they say, "Yo, I'm gonna be disrespectful to your parents," right? Sometimes it's a behavior, it's a mood, it's the circumstances, the things that take place. What I'm saying is that we date, right, with a purpose, right? You date
Right.
somebody, you decide that you want to be, in a relationship or, close with the person. You decide that you want to into that person, into your family dynamics, right? You guys go out with the family, whatever, whatever. Anything can happen, right? A parent could look at a person the wrong way and that person take it personal. Am I supposed to know that in that moment that if my parent or somebody says something crazy out of line to that person that he gonna flip out and start wilding out at that moment? No, right?
Yes.
Those are behaviors that what you say?
Yes, you should.
No, no. How? Because my thing is people show themselves in
People
different
show their
ways.
true colors in a certain. They don't always show their true colors in the beginning. Some people will sit and act like they're this respectful person, but then here it is, maybe 6 months down the line, that is the whole family group thing, and then you start seeing their true colors and what it is, who they are. You understand? Not everybody
Hmm.
shows who they are in the beginning. So I don't. I personally feel we don't always know if the person is gonna be a disrespectful person or not because of who they put themselves to be in front of us. So
Right.
you really don't know.
I
I
didn't
just
think you was this disrespectful when I met you.
Mm.
I didn't know you was this disrespectful when I
I've
met you.
always been disrespectful.
I didn't know.
Disrespectful too,
I know
and I'm
now.
disrespectful to everybody, and I'm not disrespectful to you. So watch your lip before I get
You
disrespectful.
disrespected me yesterday.
What I'm saying is, what Dre, back to what I'm saying is that again, you know, people respond to. I mean, think about it. You go to a family function, a person could be perfectly in sound mind, right, and start drinking and unable to control they alcohol intake, and then boom. I mean, I think the alcohol is an excuse,
Dre, we see
but
you. Sorry, Lala. Fix your camera, Dre, because we see your hand. We're not seeing you. We gotta see the whole panel.
you want us to see his headboard. But anyway, um,
Oh my God.
See is what?
I think, huh?
See is
His
what?
headboard, his headboard.
Headboard, headboard.
Pay attention. You in this conversation, correct? Let's unpack that here. Pay attention. Um, I think that I just think I do think that sometimes you don't have any control over in the moment, right? But when that person shows you something that you may have never seen, then you have to address it then and there.
Now, let me ask you a question, Lala. Now that you've seen that side of that person come out for maybe the first time and you address that situation, are you going to continue that relationship, or are you going to end that situation? How do you handle that?
I
Because
think.
here's a perfect example. Here's a perfect example. Remember that movie, The Perfect Guy, with Sanaa Lathan and Michael Ealy?
Mm,
And when he first met her, he was Mr. Good Dude.
yeah,
And then
especially
all of
late.
us,
Then he was under her bed.
right. That, forget under the bed. The dude touched the car and he snapped.
Yeah.
He snapped.
I think it's all about the level of disrespect. If we sit and we in a family reunion and the guy that I'm with has a couple of drinks and then my father bumps into him and he walks out, I'm gonna wait till he's sober and I'm gonna have a conversation with him. And again, depending on how the conversation ends,
Mm-hmm.
that's how you're gonna know what to do. So if I sit and I say, yo, when you got drunk and you disrespected my dad, I think you need to apologize because it wasn't that serious. You were intoxicated. And if you sit and you say, nah, fuck out of here, I'm not saying sorry. It's a problem. You gotta go. But if you stay here and you're like, no, I get it. I could tend to overdo it when I'm drunk, and I'm gonna sit and apologize to your dad because again, nobody was being disrespectful to nobody. It was just a misunderstanding because people was intoxicated. If you sit and you respect and you say I'm sorry, then I'm gonna keep going because you acknowledged, you took accountability and you acknowledged. So if we have, it's all depending on how the conversation ends.
Now, how
So
many
real
times?
talk, hold on. So real talk, like seldomly so, a person will respond a certain way and they be done with them forever. Some people have that at that point in their life where they don't tolerate anything, and after the one time you mess up, it's a wrap. Some people have different levels, right? You
I
have
was about to ask you that.
strike, three strike, and then they on. So I think it depends on, like Mika said, it depends on the circumstances, the dynamics, how you respond. When I have a conversation with you and I bring it to your attention, what is the outcome of what we talked about? What are you willing to acknowledge? Because sometimes the lack of accountability and the lack of acknowledgement is what pisses another person off to the point where you like, right? Because if you disrespect my family member and you know that that's an issue for me, and I'm telling you what you did, even if maybe you don't remember, because that's an excuse, right? And you don't even think that it's important to rectify the situation, then that means that we can't move forward.
Mm.
But
Now,
some,
and because I was about to ask you that, Lala or Mika, like how many times do you allow them to get out of character or to show you their other sides?
You only have
Depends on how
one
much money they
chance.
have.
It's all depending on the situation.
Depends on how
Again,
much money they have.
it's all depending on the situation.
Depends on
I'm
the
willing
bag.
to give somebody the benefit of the doubt, but don't think you're gonna keep getting that. I'll
Okay.
give you, okay, we said and it happened, but if it happens again, we had this conversation already. And I'm not about to sit and talk to a grown person, and this goes for the significant other and the mother and the father. Okay. We had this conversation before. I thought it was addressed. I thought we had it figured out, but you said and you did it again. I'm not doing it no more. I only got to give you one chance. I'm gonna sit
You
and
a
let you
hypocrite.
one
You a
chance.
hypocrite. You a
I'm not a
hypocrite.
hypocrite.
why are you
You are
calling
a
her a
hypocrite
hypocrite?
because
There should
we had a
be
conversation about what happened yesterday 2 other times and you did it again.
I don't.
So
It
that's
says
up to you to give somebody the benefit of the doubt. Now, how is it that I'm the hypocrite? I'm the one. If you'll be the hypocrite because you're the one that will sit and say I'm giving you a chance, and then I'm only giving you once, but then you keep doing it. So I'm not the hypocrite, and I'm not trying
You
to be funny. I'm just trying to just fix the comment.
you out of chances. You out of chances.
so. Somebody on YouTube said there shouldn't be another side.
There shouldn't be
What?
an other side.
This
Everybody has a bad day and overreacts. Yeah.
beautiful floater said, "Shy, you sound like Carl Thomas."
Who said that? Who said that?
Beautiful floaters, my sister.
Baltimore?
So now,
Other
Dre, if
side.
Yes.
let's say, right,
Hmm.
is you, your mom, and your significant other, and y'all out, y'all eating somewhere, y'all in a public place, and your mom just keeps coming at your girl. Oh, but you not that pretty. Oh, but why you look like that? Oh, but she's just coming at her and coming at her and coming at her. How you address that?
I'm gonna address my mom. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, mom, what's the issue?"
Like that.
I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna be like, is there an issue
Are you
with
gonna pull
this?
her to the side? Or you gonna ask her in front of your girl?
I'm gonna ask her in front of the girl because why not just resolve it right then and there? So we can find out what the root of the problem is. We could solve it.
And what if she say, I just don't like her? And
And
what?
then that's her personal preference. But that's not going to change me stopping to date her or seeing who she is. Why am I going to stop that?
Okay.
At the end of the day, my mom is not sleeping with her. I am. My mom is not dating her. I am. I've had my mom tell me that she didn't like one of my girlfriends before.
Well, that's different than what Shaw's saying. Shaw said if you have conflict with his family, he can't talk to you. Right?
I
That's what she
mean,
said. Shaw,
I
that's
think
what she said.
everybody is all depending on how your family dynamic is too.
It depends on the conflict and why too. Like you're not just about to be antagonistic and judgmental of my family and think that shit gonna fly. Like you're not just gonna
So
keep
there's some
talking about that.
stipulations here. That's what I hear. What I'm hearing you say is that it depends on the circumstances.
Of course, everything depends on the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
So what if your family just don't like the person, and that's just what it is? You choose your family
It
over the
depends
person.
on why they don't like them. People don't like people and don't even know why they don't like them. I'm not letting that ruin nothing. But if they have like a legitimate thing and they bringing something to light, like maybe they know them from 10 years ago, I'd be like, they changed, so whatever. Like I don't know. I don't really have them issues where it's so deep. I've dated women that my sister or my mother haven't liked per se, but not to the point where it was gonna be like a hindrance to what I had going on. It
Mm.
was just like, yo, that's that person not my cup of tea. It wasn't no they disgust me type thing, and if you get with them, don't speak to me. It's never been that.
Beautiful Florida said, my bonus son's mom disrespected his fiance in front of her, and he got up from the table and left with the woman.
Bonus son is crazy.
Why is it crazy? So understand the dynamics, right? Because we talk about relationship dynamics, right? If your mother disrespected your woman, your wife, right? I've heard people say, I'm gonna talk to my mother, or I'm gonna just ignore it, right? But at the end of the day, your wife is supposed to be first.
hmm
Says who?
Your wife is supposed to be
Your
first.
wife is first because your wife is who you build with. Your wife is who you're with. Your wife is who you planning your future with. You're not doing that with your mom or your father. Once it's you and your wife, it's you and your wife. It's not your mother and father. When
So
God, your mother and father is not gonna sit and do what your wife does for you and vice versa when it comes to the husband. So once
Let
you
you
build
tell
your
a nigga mother
family, it's
suck
your
dick too,
family.
cause she grown.
what?
Say
Huh?
what?
Nothing. Nothing.
So the bonus son would 100% spot on when he got up with his fiance and said, "Let's go." Because
Mm-hmm.
if I'm your wife and you allow others, your mama, your brother, your sister, your cousin, anybody to disrespect me, then I gotta wonder what's really good. What's up with us? Where's
I
our
think. I
where
That's
is
what
think.
I said from
the
the beginning.
loyalty to me?
That's what I
I
said from the
think.
beginning. Ain't nobody disrespecting me with my lady or my fiance
Right?
here.
Because you can't
It's
I
not gonna
agree.
happen.
you can't you can't disrespect mine, and I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not that person.
The only
You
way
can't
I'm
make up your
tolerating
mind.
is not even tolerating disrespect. Because some people will sit and take a response, me defending myself, as a disrespect. There's a difference between being disrespectful and defending yourself, right?
That is
You could
correct.
defend yourself disrespectfully, or you could just defend yourself. So I think, I'm gonna allow, if I know for a fact my man is sitting here doing everything in his power to be respectful and make it to where it's a peaceful situation, and my family keeps going like this and going like this and
Okay,
going like
yeah.
this, I'm gonna be like, nah, y'all wildin'. Like, I can't do it. That's not fair to him, or
Right.
it's not
hmm
fair to her for y'all to keep messing with them because y'all feel a certain way. Nope, I'm out. But now, like, and I agree 100% with what Shah's saying. If I'm with this person and I choose to be with this person, but this person is constantly disrespecting me, this person is constantly beating on me or constantly doing cheating on me and doing all that stuff, my family has all rights to their feelings. They
Right.
have
Right.
rights to it. And then I'm the one that's being problematic by bringing that person around, knowing that my family has the perfect reason for not to like them.
Right.
Circumstances.
Understood. Understood. Very understood. Very much so.
Yeah. Great point. Great point. I think that a lot of time, even like in just in relationships, right? You can deal with somebody who will say, "Listen, I don't want to go around your family. I don't like this person. I don't like that person. I'm not with how they treat you. I don't want to go around your family." But some women force the issue, right? You with me, you supposed to come with me no matter what. You my man, whatever. I need you there no matter what. And then when you get there and something happens, whose fault is it?
Demands because he shouldn't have let her be the boss of the family. I ain't going nowhere. I don't want to go.
And I think that's another thing too. When we do say it's your wife, like you have the family, your wife comes first. Just because I come first doesn't mean I want to take you away from your family, right?
Right.
Yes, I understand that I'm your wife and I come first, but I do understand the relationship with your family. And one thing I've always said is I never want to be the reason for my husband or my man's family to separate, knowing that before I came in, you guys already had this alignment. You guys already had a beautiful family relationship. I will never want to be the cause of you guys separating. So yes, even though I come first because I'm your wife, I'm still gonna make sure I do everything for you to be happy with your family because that's your family. Depending on
Hmm.
how you go, there's people out here that they get married, and when I'm the one with the family, I got my father, I got my mother, I got my aunts, I got my grandmother, I got everything, but the person I'm with is an orphan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
They don't know what that is. You understand what I'm saying? So now, being that I chose to be with you, is my responsibility to teach you what that is. Because at the end of the day, I know what it is to have a family. You don't. We together, we're gonna build a family. How that's gonna go?
Right.
Right.
So I don't. I will. I'm not gonna sit here and say, "Oh, I'm your wife. I come first. You gotta choose me over everybody." No, it doesn't go that way.
So in most situations like that, when a person doesn't understand family or don't have family, sometimes they develop a resentment towards the person who has a family, who knows what family dynamics is, and know that love and support that family gives. It becomes a resentment, right? Because resentment, maybe even a jealousy.
Hmm.
Let me ask you a question. Have you guys ever been put in a position where you've had to choose a family member over your significant other?
Um, my
Like,
I'm gonna say my two oldest kids' father. My when of course, but at the same time, my mom had her reasons to sit and feel how she felt. The way she reacted wasn't, it was fucked up, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna tolerate it no matter what. Again, I understood that I got pregnant at a young age. You understand what I'm saying? And we were both young, but my mom was trying to make it seem as if he took advantage of me, as if he forced himself on me. And it's like, no, I said okay,
mm,
I wanted it too. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I had to sit and say, nah, ma, I'm not having that. And I chose, I'm pregnant. I chose my man, the father of my child, over my mom. And but I've never been in a till this day. My two oldest kids' grandmother, I call her my baby daddy. I love that woman to death. I'm married to a whole other man, and she's been to my wedding. She comes to the baby shower. She comes to my house. I've had a good relationship with her. My husband's mom, we ain't started off too great, but because of who I am, right? I show everybody the respect you want is the respect you're gonna give me, right? And whenever I've never disrespected my mother-in-law to where I've cursed her out, or like I said, I've told my husband, you need to address it because it's not gonna be cute me smacking your mom. That's the most that I understand. But for me to sit, and I've always told him, go check your mother, go check
Mm.
your mother, go check your mother. And if you don't check it, if she keeps on, then I'm gonna check it. But I've sat and just be like, I don't care. I don't care because at the end of like I said, the same title that you have as a mother, I have that same title. I
Okay,
have
so Mika, a follow-up question for you. So that you have that instilled in your life and your relationship, would you educate your kids to be the same way? Like, yo, never let anyone come in between their relationships as they get older?
I tell my kids, never let anybody interrupt something that you feel you're comfortable in. right? So if you're with somebody and you really love this person, and this person is generally somebody that's, yeah, aligning, and somebody outside of the circle is trying to mess that up, you need to address that. I teach my kids, you give respect. Always be respectful. You always be respectful, but if you feel disrespected, you need to address it. I don't tell my kids to be cursing people out. No, but speak your mind and speak your piece. If my kids, let's say it was me and my son, he had his boyfriend. When I first met him, I was like, what you think I said? And I was like, oh no, I don't like him. No, I spoke with the young man. I wanted to get to know you. I wanted to sit in, and I sat and I put my son to the side, and I was like, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think this is somebody that you should be with, because he has his mindset of what life is, and you have your mindset of what life is. But what did my son did? My son really cared for him and chose to be with him. So I sat there and I was like, go do what you gotta do. The kid was never disrespectful. I'm not gonna sit and say he was disrespectful. He wasn't never disrespectful, but there was just something about him that I felt, you don't fit. You're not a fit for my son. I feel
Mm,
you're not a fit for my son, but there was nothing that I could do about it, because my son is still gonna do what he chooses to do.
right.
Okay, thank you for that. So, in closing, we've learned a few things here today. We've learned that a disrespectful behavior should be addressed immediately, as soon as possible, as soon as it's seen. When it happens, it needs to be addressed on the forefront to all parties involved, right? Um, we've also learned that violence is not always the key to every circumstance, even a spitting one. But some people,
No, 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 no.
hey,
Spitting
don't cut
causes
me off.
violence.
Hey, sir,
Sorry.
let's pack that. Um, Violence is not doesn't necessarily have to be the key to all problems and issues or the response, but some people rather choose violence when it comes to the utmost highest level of disrespect, and that has to do everything to do with somebody putting their saliva on you purposely, on purpose, right? So with that, I say
Putting
that
saliva on you on purpose doesn't sound that bad. Just say spitting on a person.
Right.
I say that it's okay to choose you, especially when someone is not respecting you as a person, right? It's okay to walk away if you're not getting the respect you deserve or you demand, right? And be great. And be great, right? So this is the end of our episode of Let's Unpack That After Dark. Wanted to address disrespectful behavior. We'll be back at it next week on Wednesday with some more interesting conversation. If you want to send me an email, you can send me an email. Let's unpack that 27 at gmail.com. You can send me a DM on Let's Unpack That 27. If you have any topics, anything you want to talk about, any questions you have for any one of us, you can definitely hit us up. All right. Thanks, Dre, for coming up and being
You
on.
know it, Lala.
Check us out tomorrow morning on the television show.
Who's up with Dre in the morning? Y'all know the morning show. We'll be there at 6:30 with the music. 7 o'clock. We'll have some interesting topics for y'all. Make sure y'all tune in. Tap a friend. Tell a friend. Shamik, Mika, Lala. Always love to you guys. Thank you for having me tonight.
Yes.
All right.
So also catch the Good Brunching podcast that comes on 12 to 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
12 to
Monday,
1.
Wednesday, and Friday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, the Good Brunch and Podcast from 12 to 1. And on Wednesdays, we on GS Radio.
Yes, we're doing big things
My
around
man
here.
Ron.
So y'all just make sure y'all be blessed. Have a great week and be safe. Peace.
Peace.